Welcome to episode 10 of Myths from Beyond, where we, every episode, will do a deep dive into an entity or creature in myths, legends and folklore, or a haunted place from all around the world. High above the city Himeji in Japan stand Himeji Castle, a breathtaking fortress known for its beautiful white walls and centuries of impressive history. But Himeji Castle is more than a beautiful historic landmark. It is also a place where history and legend come together. The castle reminds us that every ancient place has stories waiting to be discovered, and sometimes the most unforgettable ones are mysteries that can never be fully explained. Himeji Castle is Japan's largest and best preserved samurai fortress, and it is also called the White Heron Castle. The name does not come from its amazing white color. People say the castle resembles the graceful white water bird taking flight, with its sweeping roofs looking like outstretched wings. Himeji Castle was built on Mount Himejima in 1333 and expanded into its current iconic complex between 1601 and 1609 by Daimyo Ikeda Terumosa. The strategic site on Himeyama Hill was first fortified in 1333 by Akamatsu Norimura. In 1346, the Akamatsu clan built a permanent structure that evolved over the next few centuries as the region changed hands. In 1580, the influential ruler Toyotomi Hideyoshi took control of the castle and expanded it. He constructed a 3-story keep and used the fortress as a vital power base for unifying Japan. Following the pivotal Battle of Sekigahara in 1600, Tokugawa gifted the castle to his son-in-law Ikeda Terumasa. Terumasa demolished the older structures and spent over 8 years rebuilding it into a massive 83-building complex. He designed it to be an impenetrable military stronghold, featuring a labyrinth path of gates, dead ends, and shooting slits to disorient and trap invaders. Ikeda died in 1613, passing the castle to his son, but the son died 3 years later. In 1617, Honda Tadamasa and his family inherited the castle, and Honda added several buildings to the castle complex, including a special dressing tower for his daughter-in-law, Princess Senhime. Princess Senhime was the granddaughter of Shogun Tokugawa. She was married to Toyotomi Hideyori, but after his death during the siege of Osaka, she remarried Honda Tadatoki. Himeji Castle wasn't just built to keep enemies out. It was designed to confuse them. The path to the main keep twists through a maze of gates, sharp turns, dead ends, and narrow passages. An attacking army could become disoriented while defenders rained arrows or rocks from the hidden positions above. The castle wall was covered with openings called sama. They are in different shapes, circles, triangles, and rectangles, and each served a purpose. Defenders fired arrows through them while remaining protected. The Hishi Gate is the largest surviving gate in Himeji Castle and one of the strongest defensive points in the complex. The walls around Hishi Gate contain some of the largest stones used anywhere in Himeji Castle. But why is Himeji Gate so important? Well, the gate was designed as a killing zone. Defenders could, as I said, fire through the Sama, and heavy stones could be dropped onto enemies below. Attackers would be trapped in a cramped courtyard with little room to maneuver, and with multiple towers overlooking the area, defenders could attack from several directions at once. Despite being heavily fortified, Himeji Castle was never actually besieged. It later became a state property. Thanks to its fireproof, plaster-covered walls, the fortress suffered only minor damage during the World War II air raids. In January 1995, the city of Himeji was substantially damaged by the Great Hanshin earthquake, but the castle, again, survived virtually undamaged, demonstrating remarkable earthquake resistance. Even a bottle of sake placed on the altar at the top of the keep remained in place. Himeji Castle was named one of Japan's first UNESCO World Heritage Sites in 1993. The area within the middle oat of the castle complex is a designated Special Historic Site, and 5 structures of the castle are also designated National Treasures. The castle buildings underwent restoration work for several years. The restoration also removed decades of dirt and grime, and this restored the formerly grey roof into its original brilliant white color. Every stone in Himeji Castle has a story, and some of them are marked with strange symbols. During restoration work, archaeologists discovered nearly 90 symbols in the castle stones, representing around 50 different designs. We still don't know exactly what all those markings means. Were they simply the signatures of stonemasons? Or did some carry another purpose? Or are they simply marks after the tools stonemasons used? Standing beneath those towering walls today, it's hard not to wonder how many hands have touched these stones throughout history. Now, let's talk about the hauntings. Let's start with one of the most famous haunting everyone associates Himeji Castle with, Okiku's well. Okiku was a servant entrusted with caring for 10 priceless plates belonging to her master. Depending on the version of the legend, one place was either hidden as a part of a cruel plot or genuinely missing. She was falsely accused, tortured, and either murdered or driven to suicide before being thrown into a deep well within the castle ground. Every night, her ghost is said to climb up from the well. She slowly counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. When she realizes the 10th plate is still missing, she lets out a scream so horrifying it echoes throughout the castle. Some legends claim the cries drove her killer insane. Others say a Buddhist monk finally freed her spirit by shouting 10 before she could scream again. But many believe that she never truly left the well. Visitors have long claimed that the area around Okiku's well feels unsettling. They describe whispers after sunset, faint counting coming from the well, sudden cold spots, unexplained crying, and a feeling of being watched. One of the creepiest parts of the legend is the curse itself. Some versions said anyone who hear Okiku finish counting to 9 is doomed. Those who stay near the well after dark become ill. The scream can drive listeners mad. In the late 1700s, thousands of butterfly pupae suddenly appeared around Himeji Castle. People noticed that they looked eerily like tiny women tied up with their hands behind their backs. Rumors spread that these were actually manifestations of Okiku's spirit returning from the well. The insects became known as Okiku's bug, showing how a natural event became woven into the castle's ghost lore. Osaka Behime, the Lady of the Castle. Not every spirit at Himeji Castle is human. According to Japanese folklore, the castle's highest tower is home to Osaka Behime, a mysterious yokai. She is described as a beautiful noble woman, wearing an elaborate 12-layer kimono. Some stories portray her as an old woman, and some even describe her as an ancient fox spirit in disguise. She rarely appears, but when she does, she is said to possess supernatural knowledge, read people's thoughts, and command lesser spirits. Some say that she can predict the castle's future. Some tales say she grants wisdom to those she favors, and others say disturbing her is a very bad idea. One legend says the legendary swordsman Miyamoto Musashi once encountered Osaka Behime inside the castle. Miyamoto Musashi lived between 1584 and 1645, was Japan's most famous swordsman. He is credited with more than 60 undefeated duels and wrote the Book of Five Rings, one of the world's best-known texts on strategy and martial arts. Because Musashi became such a legendary figure, many supernatural legends became attached to his name. And here is the legend of him meeting Osaka Behime. One night, Musashi was said to have entered Himeji Castle alone after hearing rumors that something supernatural lived in the highest tower. That something was Osaka Behime. When Musashi reached the tower, she appeared before him. Instead of attacking him, Osaka Behime tested him. Depending on the version, she either asked him impossible riddles, questioned his understanding of life and death, or tried to frighten him with terrifying illusions. Musashi never panicked. His greatest weapon wasn't his sword, it was his calm mind. Some stories say he simply stood silently, refusing to show fear. Others say he answered every question with wisdom. The ending is where the stories differs. Version 1, The Respectful Departure. Osaka Behime realized Musashi could not be frightened. She smiled, acknowledged his strength, and allowed him to leave unharmed. Version 2, A Gift. Impressed by his courage, she rewarded him. The reward changes depending on the storyteller. It could be secret knowledge, a blessing, supernatural insight, or wisdom that would help him in future battles. Version 3, The Illusion. Some storytellers say Musashi eventually realized the entire encounter had been an illusion created by Osaka Behime to test whether he could distinguish reality from fear. And when dawn finally broke over Himeji Castle, the swordsman walked back down the stairs alone. He never revealed exactly what happened in that tower. The ghost of the master builder. One darker legend tells of the castle's chief carpenter. After helping build the magnificent keep, he became convinced the tower leaned slightly and believed he had failed his life's work. Overcome with despair, he climbed to the top of the castle and threw himself to his death with his carpenter's chisel still in his mouth. Some storytellers claim his spirit still watches over the structure, forever searching for flaws in his masterpiece. The Old Woman's Stone. This legend isn't exactly haunted, but it is wonderfully eerie. During construction, builders reportedly ran short of stones. An elderly woman donated the only valuable thing she owned, her heavy millstone. Inspired by her sacrifice, others began bringing stones as well, allowing construction to continue. Today, visitors can still be shown the stone that is said to be hers, built into one of the castle's massive walls. Some say her selfless spirit became a quiet guardian of the castle rather than a restless ghost. So as dawn breaks over Himeji Castle, its towering walls once again becomes a symbol of beauty and history. But some believe that when the darkness returns, so do the echoes of those who never truly left. Legends tell of restless spirits and haunted wells that have left their mark on the castle. Legends that have made the castle one of Japan's most fascinating and mysterious landmarks. So when the sun sets and silence falls over its ancient halls, then maybe you can hear whispers begin to replace the wind, or somewhere beneath the moonlit rooftops, a voice still counting, waiting for someone to listen. Some places hold memories, others hold secrets, and a few refuse to let the past die. So if these walls could speak, would you really want to hear what they have to say? If you like this and want to hear more myths, legends and folklore from all around the world, then please like and subscribe. And if you have any suggestions, please send them to us at mythsfrombeyond@protonmail.com. Until next time, take care.